wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I don't want to drag this video out by retelling the entire thing since there's a whole video on it, but the last time we talked, we were talking about what in the world happened to ABH in just under a year. So in this video, I'm going to give a quick recap, an update on where they are now and where I feel like they're headed. So if you want to see that, then let's go. So Anastasia Beverly Hills is an OG brand. They popped off for their brow products, but then they were really drawing the crowds in with their eyeshadow palettes, until they launched Subculture. And if you were just not around for Subculture, it wasn't a good launch for them, okay? And I honestly feel like the Subculture Gate, like it has its own title, Subculture Gate, was really like one of the catalysts as far as how drama and scandals are perceived in the beauty community. Like, it's really been drama and, you know, this cancel and that cancel just kind of infused with the beauty community. And that was really like one of the tipping points with Subculture Gate and how they responded with it, how people reacted to it, because it left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, and they kind of started to fall off after Subculture. You know, they were still releasing products, but they were just kind of, you know, floating within the community. They weren't really getting that much buzz, but they weren't getting as dragged as much as they were with Subculture until about 2 years ago, whenever they launched the Riviera palette. They launched that. It was different for Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it had people saying, okay, wait a minute, I see something. They redeemed themselves with that kind of switch up that they did there. And once again, they were that trendy brand that everyone wanted to talk about, everyone wanted to buy. You wanted to be seen in Anastasia Beverly Hills. You wanted to be able to talk to the CFO, Norvina, which CFO? One of those. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You wanted to be seen talking to Norvina. They were just that top brand. And then they got a little carried away with the attention that they were getting, and it started to quickly fall apart again for Anastasia, which is how we got to last year, where it was just not good for them. Some of the drama last year included complaints with their products, the shades, the stuff they were putting out, the type of products that they were putting out, and people were confused on who their target audience was, but especially with the more colorful launches that they were having. So there were product complaints. There was the also infamous list, the PR list, the zoo of getting on the list, being on it, how people were treating each other once they were on it. It was just a lot with that list, how other brands tried to adapt to that strategy, and then you saw they like quickly let it go. There were problems with them giving the runaround with smaller creators and how they were treating smaller creators. And there were also complaints from their corporate employees on the environment in the workplace. And all of that was coming out around the time of, you know, the protests last year and speaking out about how you were treating minority employees and stuff like that. So it was just not a good year for them. And then they just kind of laid low after all of that happened. I don't even remember if they I think they might have come out with like 1 or 2 launches last year, but they really just tried to, you know, stay out of everyone's way for 2020. But they're back, they're launching products, and the beauty community is talking, but they might not be talking for the nicest of reasons. So far this year, they've launched a clear collection, makeup wipes, a face palette collection. There might be something in there that I'm missing, but those were the ones that had like the main attention that they've gotten so far this year. Now, did any of what I just said excite you? Like a clear collection, you excited? Makeup wipes, you excited? I feel like I've watched each launch get dragged whenever they announce it on their social media platforms, and I feel like the beauty community is kind of laughing at ABH and thinking this is their downfall, but I see it another way. I see something else. Now, it's just a theory, but I actually think ABH is moving in the right direction for them, and that direction includes leaving influencers and the online beauty community behind. Now, let's not get dramatic on the leaving behind part, okay? I don't think they're gonna start, you know, unfollowing everyone, stop sending PR, and stop having an online presence, but I just mean I feel like they're shifting their focus and making a different audience their main goal. And when you really think about it, is it really a different audience? Like, I think so many people focus on who ABH seems to have been attracting in the last 2 years, and have kind of forgotten like where ABH came from and just who ABH was. The real big thing with ABH was Anastasia Beverly. That's how you say her last name, right? You know, big celebrity brow stylist, probably doing the Kardashians, J-Lo, you know, that Hollywood celebrity crowd. So then the brow products came and had people like, ooh. And then the eyeshadow palettes, it was like, yeah, they really got everyone hooked now. But when you really think about their products line before Riviera, before that second comeback, they were all pretty on brand, pretty similar. The eyeshadow palettes, basic, neutrals, pinks. Okay, they had brow products, not that jaw-dropping. Their foundations, little compact bronzers, packaging, all of that was giving very, you know, sleek, compact, but simple, maybe even a little boring for some, but it was all practical and it was giving you quality. I think people get confused because of what the brand was kind of turning into after Riviera, with all the, especially the colorful palettes they were coming out with, Alyssa Edwards, the Jackie palettes. There were a lot of palettes in between there, but especially those big Norvina collection palettes, all that color in there, that people were thinking, and people were even saying that the brand is becoming a very, you know, trendy for the young people crowd, almost childish like type brand, when no, when you think about before all of that, they were making products for who it seems that they're going back to making products for now. So at this point you're wondering, okay, so who are these people? I feel like ABH has regrouped and is now targeting that specific group of makeup wearers who wear no more than 2 eyeshadow colors. You know, they might do a little eyeliner, a little mascara, but you're not gonna catch them out here wearing 25mm lashes. They're usually easily impressed with everything that the brand launches in the comments on their social media page, and they're easily impressed because their expectations aren't that high. And I don't mean that to be mean or to drag them, but it's true. You don't have to do too much with, you know, flashy packaging and the most elaborate, innovative color stories or highlighter that you can see in space, because they're not doing all of that on their face. You know, they like their makeup very practical, very simple, very easy to use, and very easy on the go type stuff. I like calling them the counter makeup wearer. Like, think counter brand, that's what I'm talking about. If you don't know what counter brands are, they are the brands that you find in department stores, you know, like at the counter, like Clinique, MAC, Estee Lauder, and you know what else counter makeup wearers are? They're loyal. Listen to your mom, a teacher, I don't know, a bank teller talk about counter brands that they shop at, and it's always, you know, I've been using this from Clinique for 15 years, or nothing tops my Estee Lauder foundation. They like everything from the brand and they do this for years, okay? Now, this crowd is also usually a little bit older, so whether it's from maturity, you know, they're too busy in life with kids or a job, social media is not for them, like they're not the crowd that is on Facebook, is on Instagram like that, or they live a lifestyle where they're able to not pay attention to this type of stuff. But this crowd also usually is not keeping up with or wants to be a part of the online beauty community scene. They don't know who all these influencers are. They don't keep up on the scandals. They don't know who has and who hasn't been canceled. That's another reason why the comment section will be in complete shambles, because a product is being dragged and there they are like, oh my God, I need this. And you look at it like, can you read the room? Like, do you not see what people are saying? But it's like they're living in their own little oblivious bubble. With everything ABH has launched this year, to the beauty community, it's kind of like been there, done that. Who still uses that? But all of it is right up this crowd's alley. The clear gloss, throw it in the minivan, you know, especially the makeup wipes, you know, walking down Target, getting groceries for dinner. ABH has new makeup wipes. Now, yes, I know ABH isn't sold at Target, even though technically Ulta is now gonna be in Target, so you can kind of get ABH at Target, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Ooh, ABH has makeup wipes. Go ahead and throw it in my shopping cart. Whereas if you're present online, you know launching a makeup wipe will probably get your brand dragged online, but it's just a different world that we're talking about here. And honestly, that might be the lane that ABH needs to stick to, okay? Listen, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Every brand can't be that trendy, cool mom, you know, heavily influencer pushed brand. It's just, and it's not meant for some of you, because this is like twice now that ABH done had an issue with that. Now think the whole thing with Subculture was how they responded to what influencers and the beauty community were saying about their products that left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. And then this second time around, it was, you know, blurring that line between trying to be the cool mom brand and being in there with influencers and the beauty community and not realizing you're still a business that messed it up for Anastasia Beverly Hills. So in that type of scenario, as a brand, you kind of have to ask yourself, well, which would I rather? Would I rather be, you know, a little more safe, maybe even boring of a company, but I know I've got loyal customers who are just gonna eat up everything that I put out, even if I don't really have to try that hard? Or, you know, do I want to be in the mix, in your face, bold, loud, trendy brand that kind of has to walk on eggshells because you don't know if today is going to be the day that you just piss everyone off because you do not have the team that understands how to build that healthy online relationship with your customers, okay? You can't all be Fenty. You just can't all be the funny meme tart, okay? Blame the intern brands that know all the latest lingo and are just keying with customers. It's not realistic. Now, the only thing that concerns me, because like I said, if that's the lane they have to go down to stay out of trouble, great, do you. But the only thing that concerns me is that some of these brands that choose to cater to this demographic often leave deeper complexions out. Like, think about what I said. You know, these are counter brands, you're shopping at the counter, you're walking down the aisle and finding these makeup products. It's a very in-person experience of makeup shopping. And to this day, like, deeper complexions are still having the shades for them locked behind the counter, or, you know, their shades aren't sold in store. You have to go online to buy those deeper shades, or they're just not made at all. Like, the brands just don't make deeper shades at all, which is why, you know, we still have to acknowledge what the online beauty presence has done as far as progression with makeup and shades and inclusivity and stuff like that, because in real life, it's still very much so giving crickets in a lot of stores, okay? Now that's just some, it's not all of these type of counter brands, but it's a lot of them and you see it very often. So that's the only thing that would concern me. Now, because of the face palettes, the highlighter, blush, bronzer palettes that they just put out, that's why I'm concerned, because honestly, I can see it going either way for ABH moving forward. So that is it for this video. Not sure what they're doing with the Norvina brand. Maybe they'll throw all their, you know, creativity and colors and ideas there, but I honestly feel like people just kind of have to let go of Anastasia Beverly Hills, the brand, being this, you know, groundbreaking, innovative brand. I feel like they've just kind of dug a little hole in some corner of the internet where they just want to be left alone with the people who's gonna like whatever it is that they put out and keep it pushing, okay? Especially after COVID, I feel like a lot of brands are thinking, as far as launches that they'll be coming out with, they're thinking practical and simple. And that's pretty much it for this video. So those are my thoughts. That's an update on some of the stuff that the brand's been coming out with if you haven't been keeping up. Let me know what your thoughts, your comments are down below. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah.